Hey everyone, if you're watching this video and you are living in a ultra competitive housing market, this is the tool for you. So, if you're not liking and subscribing to our page, make sure you hit that subscribe button. We'd love to hear from you. Drop your comments below with any questions. Let's get started. So, Gary Pierce and Clark Alexander here from Pure Funding. We are going to talk today about a product that we have for consumers that are in an ultra competitive housing environment, i.e., California. And so we got Clark Alexander to talk about that. Clark, what's going on?
How we
man?
doing? How we doing?
Good. What's going on?
We're going to talk about some buy before you sell.
Buy before you sell. So that is an interesting tool that we have access to. You've been working with some clients on this. So let's kind of go through at a high level kind of what that means. Buy before you sell. I think it's kind of self-explanatory, but let's dig in a little bit. Give us a high level of this product.
Yeah. So as you were saying, California is ultra competitive. You are in most areas not going to have a contingent offer accepted, right? You need to be, pre-approved, coming in, ready to close, cash. Like, you need to have your ducks in a row if you want your offer to be taken seriously. So that throws up a lot of roadblocks. If you're in your primary residence in California and say you're moving locally, you're sitting on all your equity and you are now faced with, do I move out to a middle location before moving into my new home? There's costs associated with that, a tremendous amount of stress. So what this program does at a high level is basically allows you to unlock the equity in your current home to use as the down payment on your next home, right? So basically step one is, what's the equity amount that we can unlock, right? You have a certain amount of equity. You'll work with your loan officer to determine what that is. And once that is approved by the lender, then you're able to go out and house hunt, right? You now have access you have access to that cash to go make a down payment, to make a serious offer that's going to be taken seriously. And you go out and you shop for your new home. So that's kind of the first step, is like, how do we leverage the equity in the property to allow you to go without having to move out, get an Airbnb, store all your stuff, list the home, a lot of moving parts there. This program allows you to skip a lot of that.
Yeah, I mean, that cost of moving twice could be upwards of $30,000 to $40,000, right?
Yeah.
Just movers, storage. Not to mention if you rent a place for 6 months, you're probably talking, 5 to 10 grand a month in rent. I would say in your area is probably the average. First month's rent, last month's rent and deposit. So just right there's easy math, somewhere between 15 and 30 grand, right? So that piece to me is, just the peace of mind of not having to sell your place, move into a rental, and then find a new place and then do it all over again in 6 months, right? So that being said, so what does it look like as far as, once you've been approved for the program, what's that look like for the consumer? Are they getting the full amount of equity out of their place, or how does that work? Walk us through that a little bit.
Yeah. So basically what the lender does is looks at the existing loan and the kind of AVM of the property. What's the property worth? What's the market value of the property? And they come to a determination of X amount is approved for what they call equity unlock. That is the money that you now have access to make an offer and a down payment. So that process and going through it is pretty quick. Like, we know pretty quickly how much you're going to be able to unlock, so that you can start going out and looking at actual properties, knowing what you have, in the bank to make a down payment.
Yeah. And then, so once the consumer, we get the equity piece figured out. So let's say we've got, $500,000 in terms of equity.
Yep.
We're with our realtor, we're shopping. What's that part of the approval process? Because now we're thinking about a new loan, right?
Yep. Yep.
And so we're going to let's just use that 500,000 just because it's easy math.
Yep.
Put that down. Walk us through that part as well.
Yeah. So once the property has been identified, the new property that you're going to move into is identified. The lender will do a home inspection, right? Just similar process to you just selling your home, right? Like get in, let's ensure that we are in good standing to be able to move ahead. At that stage, they do open escrow. The lender will create the loan. You will sign a backup contract for your existing home, and then ultimately you will be issued a clear to close on your new mortgage. So it's very fluid in that it's assuming that the money is just moving along with the new transaction,
right?
And it makes it very simple. Obviously, our recommendation is keep your realtor that you're on the buy and sell side, keep them very close, keep them up to speed on what's going on. Part of that falls on us too, to keep them up to speed on what's going on and educate them on this process. But we'll be the team that kind of manages that and make sure everybody's in the know and where things stand from a closing on the new property to listing the existing property.
Yeah, that's awesome. So, I think one of the key aspects to this is, in a lot of cases, most people can't carry two loans at the same time. One is they may not have enough equity, cash on hand. They need the equity out of the house, right? So we're solving for that. Secondly, is we're solving for debt to income. So that current home, not the new home, does not get counted against your debt to income, correct?
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah.
I mean, very, very important.
Right. So
piece of this.
Yeah. I mean, so that's a game changer from the perspective of being able to have buying power, right?
Yep.
Yeah. That, to me, that's outside of the getting the equity. That's probably number two. I don't know. That might be 1A, 1B, but it's those are the two, I think, high points to really hit on.
And to explain that a little further, so basically, if you were to do this without this product and you were going to stay in your existing home until you closed on your new home, both of those homes would go against your debt. And it would be, for most people, virtually impossible to qualify for the new loan with the old loan sitting on your books. Right.
Yeah.
And
exactly.
This allows the old house to be removed from the debt to income calculation. Now you're just looking at the new home. It's just a clean purchase. You're free to go. You don't have the burden of the existing mortgage on your outgoing property. It changes the game. Right.
Yeah.
And
100%.
You're right. I would say 1A, 1B as far as importance.
Yeah. No, that's just another one of those tools that we're trying to grab out there. Hey guys, just real quick if you haven't subscribed, we'd love for you to subscribe to the channel. Click the subscribe button, drop any comments you have. We're always monitoring the comments. Any questions you have, you need us to contact you, send us your contact information. Love to talk to you about this product. All right. So now let's talk. We've got the equity figured out. We're shopping, we get a house. What's the protection of what's the time frame allotted on the sale of the current home? Because I think that's important too, because you still have this, you've identified your new home, you're going to buy it, we're going to get it done. 30 days later, you close, you get your place on the market. What's the timing on that?
Yeah. I mean, fortunately, being in as hot a market as we're in right now, we rarely run into that. I mean, housing is in such short supply here that it typically is an issue. But you do have, I think it's 120 days from the moment that your realtor lists the property in the MLS to get it sold.
Yeah.
I can't imagine a world unless the house needs a tremendous amount of work where that's going to be an issue. But you are protected there. The house is going to get listed. And then basically when the house is listed, a new buyer is found, you go through the process of closing. We basically, the lender settles up on the equity unlock amount. So to use the $500,000, that is settled out, and then any proceeds that come from the transaction outside of the equity unlock, all the settlement is taken care of. So you are protected. You are signing a backup agreement to ensure that your house is going to get listed and sold. It will move. So it really is for as many moving pieces that are involved in it, it's a very fluid process. And for the people that we've talked about, I mean, forget about the financial implications of having to move. I mean, moving with 2 little kids, in the schools, year, like it is just ripe with stress at every turn. So yes, there is a cost associated with this. But I think when you step back and look at the efficiency in which this product allows you to do the entire transaction, it's a darn good deal, right? And it gives you peace of mind that you can move. Your outgoing property is taken care of. You're going to get that sold, and proceeds will be distributed, so you're in good hands.
Yeah, no, I love it. It's a great, I mean, speed wins, right? It doesn't matter if you're in sports or mortgages and selling houses, buying houses, whatever. So, and I think you hit on a great point, is the timing, right? Because sometimes, let's say you've been in your house for 5 or 10 years, you might need 30 days to get the house ready to hit the market, right? Like you want to optimize that sale. And so this is a perfect way to do that. Gives you time. You're not in a rush. You get your stuff out, move it out into the new home. And now you're able to focus on, hey, let's, get the contractors in. Let's, maybe slap a little paint on the walls, do what
needs to be done.
Yeah, get everything up to speed. That way you're optimizing your sale on the existing property. So it's awesome. I think, as far as, the folks out there watching this video, if you have any questions, again, drop the comments below, set up some time with myself, Clark, one of our loan officers here at Pure Funding. We're happy to walk you through it. This product is available in all the states that we are licensed in. So it's a great tool. Take advantage of it. I always talk about the mortgage plan. This is another tool in that toolbox to help you be prepared and be as competitive as you can be to get the next property. So thanks for all the, walking us through that, Clark. I think this is another great tool that Pure Funding has access to and offers to our clients. So make sure y'all hit the subscribe button, drop your comments below, and we'll see you on the next episode.
Thanks so much, guys.
See ya.